I know this isn't going to be a 30-minute special on me.
That's exactly what's about to happen.
Does the Pentagon know more than they're saying?
100%. And again, military intelligence is a whole lot like congressional ethics. It just doesn't exist. They brought in some Pentagon bureaucrats who only had 2 answers to the questions they were asked. I don't know, or that's classified. You tell me, what the heck is going on? Why are they covering this up? Well, because they're lying, and you've got a willing media that just laps this stuff up like lapdogs. The war pigs over at, or the war pimps, over at the Pentagon. I mean, man, they couldn't even spell UFO. They didn't have a clue about what's going on.
Now this man wakes up in the morning, eats rocks, and shits gunpowder. As Tim stepped out of the car for the first time onto the campus at the University of Tennessee, he stopped, placed his hand on his father's shoulder, looked directly into his eyes, and said, "Dad, you're the man of the house now." Moments later, he earned a bachelor's degree of science and education.
Burchett's first election to public office was in 1994, when he won a seat in the Tennessee House of Representatives. He served in the House for 2 two-year terms, from 1995 to 1998. In 1998, he won a 4-year term in the Tennessee State Senate, representing the 7th District. In the autumn of 2010, Tim Burchett claimed the title of Knox County Mayor, but the realm of county governance simply couldn't contain a man with such grit. In 2018, he waged a victorious campaign, his sights once again set on the hallowed halls of the U.S. House of Representatives. In 2019, he seized his rightful place in Congress.
Now, please don't look at me. I did not have anything to do with this. I crossed my heart and hope to die, all right? I didn't have anything to do with it. Whispers of government cover-ups regarding UFOs started spreading through Washington. Tim Burchett began preparations to go on an outright rampage. All this, and Mr. Burchett says he's never even seen a UFO. Though, that's simply because if a UFO were to have a Tim Burchett sighting, it would immediately identify itself.
They do exist or they don't exist. They keep telling us they don't exist, but they block every opportunity for us to get a hold of the information. You know, because I'm making a lot of people uncomfortable. You know what? That's when they fire at you when you're over the target. It is about the almighty dollar that they are trying to control. And that's all this is about. And I know y'all, every time you play this interview with one of us, you play the theme from X-Files. I get it. But the reality is the American public deserves to know. And honestly, the Pentagon loses over $1 billion a year in their audits, and we don't have the guts to do anything about it. We don't need to study it anymore. Just release the files. Just release the unredacted files.
Just release the files. Actually, I have something to say about that. Now, I've heard over and over and over again that the footage of UAPs aren't classified because they're evidence of UFOs or aliens or extraterrestrials or anything like that, but rather because of the advanced detection systems our government is using to capture the footage, and they don't want our enemies to know about this technology.
Unidentified anomalous phenomena sightings themselves are not classified. It's often the sensor platform that is classified. And you can kind of think of it, if a fighter jet took a picture of the Statue of Liberty, then that image would be classified.
Defense and intelligence agency data on UAP are often classified primarily because of how the data is collected, not because what's in the data. If a camera on an F-35 took a picture of a bird, it's classified.
Now, let's take a quick look at this clip that was classified and then declassified to show everyone during the first UAP hearing way back in 2022. Now, absolutely, in no way, under any circumstances, at any cost, can we allow the Chinese to find out about the iPhone. And the government wonders why the general public thinks they're completely full of shit. I actually have a lot to say about this particular subject, but we're going to leave that for the next video.
There's just an arrogance about this bunch that I don't trust. Washington is a trash can. There's an inherent corruption in Washington, D.C. and our elected offices in Washington. You know, why do good people vote for crappy stuff? I'll tell you how. They've been compromised. And yeah, I think people are compromised. I think staff are compromised.
Are you curious who he might be referring to? I actually was too. So I did just a little bit of digging.
You know, an atmospheric flight, very, very conducive to optical illusions. So I get it, why these pilots would look at that go fast video and think it was going really, really fast. I remember one time I was flying in the warning areas off of Virginia Beach, military operating area there. And my Rio thought, the guy who sits in the back of the Tomcat, was convinced we flew by a UFO. So I didn't see it. We turned around, we went to go look at it. It turns out it was Bart Simpson, a balloon.
Oh, NASA got jokes. Laugh it up, NASA, laugh it up. Ladies and gentlemen, we just heard from retired United States astronaut Scott Kelly. And would you believe that Scott Kelly is currently an acting United States Senator? I got curious and did a little bit of digging, and you'll never guess who funded his election campaign. Now, wait a minute. Aren't those all of the companies allegedly harboring extraterrestrial spacecraft? Huh. It almost makes you think a little bit, doesn't it? I'm going to go ahead and call bullshit on this Bart Simpson balloon story. I don't think it ever happened. This Bart Simpson balloon is proudly brought to you by the United States government's military contractors. Let me know what you think. I'm very curious because none of this is adding up to me. Anyhow, it's certainly no secret that I'm a huge supporter of Representative Tim Burchett. Maybe I'm alone here. Please let me know if I am. But I can't remember a time in my entire life that I genuinely felt like an elected official was going to war on my behalf. And Tim Burchett has been on an absolute rampage. So my question to you is this: why is this such a rare phenomena? Isn't this exactly what we elect people to do? I feel like our elected officials, they tend to forget this. And for this reason, I want to celebrate this man. And maybe, eventually, the rest of our elected officials will all of a sudden remember who put them in office to begin with.
I mean, the reason we got this is because we told them we would just do the field hearings, and we were going to do them in my front yard. That's, my wife and daughter were going to grill out hamburgers and hot dogs, and y'all all be invited, and we could ask everything, and we could bring everybody there, so they didn't want that. Could you imagine if this world was focused on one issue, looking at something like that, we could all come together on something?
If it turns out we are indeed in possession of alien crafts or whatnot, I certainly hope that Tim Burchett rightfully goes down in history as the freaking badass that confirmed extraterrestrial life exists to the American public and the rest of the world for that matter. Is this going to happen? I got no idea. As always, only time will tell. And honestly, from where we're standing right now, it certainly doesn't seem like we're gonna have to wait very long to find out. With that said, let me know what you guys think. What do y'all think of Representative Tim Burchett? What do you think about the hearings that just went down a couple days ago? I have found all this insanely fascinating. If you guys have any ideas on stuff that you want me to cover or topics you want me to discuss, or maybe we just kick it and talk about some crazy theories and, just shoot the shit. I'm literally open to anything, and I don't rule anything out. All ideas and theories and whatnot, they are all welcome here. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please comment, subscribe, share it with your friends. I'd love to get a little bit of love from the YouTube algorithm. So, yeah. See you next time.